this antenna needs to face the scanner with a straight part towards the scanner, and it needs to not have any obstructions. So please try to place the antenna towards the chair and the patient.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Jenny and I'm a part of the education team at Medit. Nice to meet you everyone. Today we have Dr. Bogdan here.
Hello guys. So this time I'm going to be here for the second webinar in the series before you start scanning with intraoral scanners. And this time we're going to handle installation of software, what software you need, what do the apps do, every app, and also how to prepare and sterilize your scanner and scanner tips, how to work properly with your scanner, and also how to back up your projects to not lose data, and how to wipe your scanner off when everything is finished.
Okay, so Dr. Bogdan already explained us everything that he's gonna explain for today's lecture. So last time it was part 1 and today's one is part 2. So everything you need to know before scanning. Okay, as always, right after the lecture is done, we are going to have Q&A session. So we've already collected all the questions through the email in advance. So we will cover those questions today. And while watching the webinars, if you have any questions, then simply go to the chat box and write down. Then we reply back with your registered email address. And you can watch the previous webinars on our YouTube channel and Medit Academy once it's completed. Okay, so shall we begin, Doctor?
Yes, sure. Let's get straight into it.
Now that we've set up our laptop and we have a proper machine to work with, we are needing also an account with Medit, because our scanners work in the cloud and also need to be validated online to be able to be used. So after we buy a laptop and set it up, you are going to need to go online and create a Medit link account. After you access the Medit link page, you will click do not have an account, sign up, and go to the steps to do this account. You will be able to choose from 4 types of accounts. As you can see on the right, you can choose accounts for clinic or for labs. And in the clinic side, you will have to understand that you can use a manager account or a staff account. Manager account will give you access to order and payments, to member management, so you'll have more features. But if you have multiple staff that is working with your laptop, to not give them access to ordering cases without your approval, you are going to set them up with dental staff accounts. On the left side of things, you are going to either use a representative or leader manager account that is giving you all the accessibility on your account to set up prices, to receive orders, to manage those orders, or you can set up an account for your employees where they only are able to receive the cases that you send them and communicate on them, but not do any other modifications on prices or anything else. Once you've set up your account, you are going to be greeted by the dashboard of Medit, and in the dashboard of Medit, you will be able to see what scanners are registered with your account. If these set scanners have an expired warranty, you can extend the warranty from here. You are going to see here how much of your cloud storage is actually used by the Medit link account, and also you are going to see here if you are having cloud storage available to you, if you bought such an option. You are going to see statistics of how many cases you've scanned, how many cases in total you have, how much time you've worked until now, if you are having pending cases or accepted cases, shipped cases, completed cases, and overall statistics of your clinic or lab here. You've familiarized yourself with a dashboard. You're now able to choose partners in your areas or anywhere else in the world. You would be wise to do this first, because after you have your first scan, you would want to send it either to a local or non-local lab, or to your own lab account, but you'll have to have everything set up, and this is where to do it, in the Partners tab in the Medit link account. And here you will send an invitation to the said lab, or you will receive an invitation from the clinic to work together. Also, in your browser tab, you're going to be able to select a storage plan, and I do encourage you to buy the storage plan from Medit, a paid premium option, because it's, in my eyes, it's very cheap, it's very easy to maintain, and because you have this, you're never going to run out of storage. You're going to be able to access your cases from other locations or from other machines. You're just going to open your account, and you're going to be able to download cases that you've done on your work machine. Also, the raw files are going to be stored in the cloud for 1 year, and also the resulting files, and you are going to be able to re-download them on a different machine or on your work machine if you already have deleted them and you need them back. So having a storage both in the cloud is the way to go, in my perspective. After you've gone to all these steps, you are going to be able to install the Medit Link software that comes together with the scanning software, and this you will find on the lower left side of the Medit Link tab that you've just opened. You're going to click on the blue dot with an arrow, and you are going to be able to select if you want the files for Windows or for macOS, and then what software you want to download, if it's going to be the latest software from Medit or a previous version. I do encourage you to always get the latest software because it's the most stable software, and it has the most functions that you'll always see explained on the community. So get, like you see in the screen, the latest is 3.1.4. After downloading this software, do go to the installation steps, grant permissions, administrator permissions in Windows to be able to install it fully, and reboot the system once, be it Windows or Mac, and then everything is set up to go. Now that Medit Link is already installed on your computer, just log in with your credentials, with your Medit Link account that you just set up. And before beginning scanning, I do recommend going in the app box and installing some of the free software from Medit. It's going to be a huge game changer for you to be able to, as you can see here, install Medit splints to do some splints, or Medit design to align meshes and do mesh modifications, or Medit temporaries and Medit clinic care that are going to help you do your provisionals or even definitive printed crowns. Medit ortho is going to help you simulate treatments for your ortho patients. Medit caries is going to show you with AI where you have caries present on your scans. Medit model builder is going to build beautiful fast models if you ever want to print them. Medit smile design is a hugely engaging application for patients to see how they could look with a new smile that you can provide. Medit margin lines is for me a game changer because I don't want anybody else drawing my complicated prep margins like in inlay cases. I do want to do this for myself before sending them to the lab. Crown fit is going to help you when you have a crown that needs adaptation, that doesn't fit from the intellia or from the mesial or distal or occlusal. This is going to help you hugely. Medit occlusion analyzer is going to tell you where you have contacts, and you are going to be able to analyze how the patient bites. And Medit decom converter is going to allow you to receive scanners from Trios counterparts to install them. Medit Academy and Medit Facebook groups are widely recommended for you to understand how Medit scanners work and applications work. You have a lot of content there, so do install these applications and play with them before you start your Medit journey to be able to fully enjoy the possibilities of Medit. Now let us talk about transportation between operatories or between clinics. You're going to have to get your scanner out of the box, get the according cables or base if you can, if you have a wireless unit, and batteries, as you can see there. And also always have your calibration tool at your disposal, because you are going to learn how to use it and use it pretty often. And you will have to have it always by your side. If you go between clinics or want to transport your Medit to somewhere else, I do encourage you to buy a backpack that has a good container and good storage that protects your scanner. You don't want to hit it, so just buy the right laptop from the right backpack from Medit. When transporting the scanner between operatories, I do use their lid from the box and place everything inside, because I don't want to drop anything. So it's good to transport this scanner and cording parts in some enclosed compartment between spaces, so that you don't drop them or hit them. Now, before starting to use the scanner, you're actually going to need to remove the lid of the scanner and place a tip. And as you can see on the right, tips can be used with mirror facing down or up, as you want to. They have a 180 degrees reversible tips. This you should remember, because it helps you when scanning the upper or lower arch. And when you get tips, the first thing you do is you're going to sterilize these tips before using in patients. And what I do in this regards, I use the proper solutions described by Medit. And after I wipe these tips clean, I'm gonna dry them with sterile gauges, and also place a sterile pellet inside the tip after I wipe the mirror clean, because when placing these tips in pouches, in sterilization pouches, they can get little stains on them, and that stains are going to be a problem when scanning, because they can induce errors, or they are going to stop the scanning process. So you are going to receive tips in the i600 that are around 100 sterilizations possible, and in the i700 and 700 wireless they can be sterilized 150 times. And you can see here below how they can be sterilized with gravity types or pre-vacuum types autoclaves, or at 121 degrees or 134 degrees, and how much time you need. So please do respect these specifications for proper sterilization. Do not overuse tips, because if a tip is too scratched or too stained, the scanning is going to be impacted, and you are going to have errors in your scans. Okay, after you have placed the tip on the scanner, now it's time to connect the scanner to the computer. And to connect the scanner to the computer, we'll need to connect it to either USB-A or USB-C port. USB-A ports are not delivering enough power or power at all to the scanner or to the scanner base so that it can work properly. So if you are going to use a laptop with only USB-A 3.0, you will be needing also to plug the scanner in or the base in and plug it into a wall socket, because power is going to come from the socket and information is going to flow to the USB-A cable. On the other hand, if you are using USB-C cable, USB-C cables are providing the needed power for the scanners to work properly, as you can see on the right. The only little disadvantage for the USB-C cables is that they provide sometimes power a little slower than a socket connection, and so when the scanner needs to warm up, it's going to take a little bit more time. But there is this USB-C connection is a much simpler connection, and it avoids using a lot of cables, so I prefer it over the other connections. Do remember that USB-C can be USB-C 3.2 or USB-C Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts are operating at a higher speed than USB-C 3.2. So if you have one, please connect the scanner to the USB-C Thunderbolt connection. Once the scanner is connected to the laptop, for the first time it's going to go online and bring you the activation key for the scanner. So bear in mind that when you want to first use a scanner, your laptop is going to be able to connect to the internet. After this, you are going to have little symbols on the lower left part of the screen that are going to tell the story of the connection. If you can see a red dot there, the scanner is disconnected. If you connect the scanner and everything is working fine, it's going to turn out green, as you also can see there. So it's going to tell you if the scanner is connected, if the scanner is sleeping, if the hub is pairing, if you're using a wireless scanner, or if only the hub is connected. Also, for the wireless scanners, you will see the percentage of the battery left for that scanner. When you are going close to 20%, I would recommend to swap the batteries and to give a new battery, because you won't want to stop scanning and replace it mid-scan. And please watch these symbols on the lower left to understand what is happening with your device. One thing worth mentioning is that if you are using i700 wireless, it takes a new antenna into account, that is the actual hub. This antenna needs to face the scanner with a straight part towards the scanner, and it needs to not have any obstructions. So please try to place the antenna towards the chair and the patient sitting there, so that you can use the scanner at its fullest potential and not have any interruptions during scanning. Also, for any scanner from Medit, my recommendation to you would be to place the laptop at such an angle that you will always be able to see not only the patient but also the laptop screen. I don't like scanning and only hearing the sound that the scanner makes, because as you can already know, when you scan, you hear a music that you can change if you don't like the music from Medit, but anyhow, you're going to hear sound, and the sound is going to have a wider, bigger volume if you scan correctly and if the scanner is actually getting information, and it's going to reduce that sound if if your scanner is not getting any information, but it is not enough to know where you are and if you are doing the right thing while scanning. So please place your laptop so that it faces you while scanning, so you can watch what you are doing inside the mouth of the patient, but also what is happening on the screen. Okay, for the i700 wireless that uses batteries, you have to know that your scanner comes with 3 batteries included. They can be operated at around 1 hour. So it should last, one battery should last for 1 hour of use. Mostly you should scan 2 or 3 cases with 1 batteries. Standby mode is 8 hours per battery, and you need to charge it for at least 2.5 to 3 hours to get a full charge out of them. My work protocol is to use the battery, and when I see that I'm going to 20, as I mentioned before, I'm going to replace the battery. When I already used the second battery in my pack, I have to go and plug them in to get them charged, because the last battery could be drained in 1 hour, and the other 2 ones need to be charged for 2.1 to 3 hours. So even sometimes, if I know I have a full day of scanning, if I use a battery, I already put it to charge back in the cradle. If by any reason you have forgotten to charge your batteries, do not worry, because the box that you find the i700 wireless contains a wired cabled battery. It's a replacement, and if you plug that into the scanner, it's just going to use the scanner connected to the socket, and it's not going to be any problem to scan, even if you don't have the batteries at the ready. That plugged-in battery is not a replacement and not a wired connection to the scanner. It just gives juice to the scanner So you still will have to be able to connect to the base, and the base is still needed. As you see, the charger symbols are displayed below, and you also know, as I mentioned before, how much juice you have left in your batteries, so take that into account. Before doing your first scan, your scanner needs to be calibrated. The good part about calibration is that once done, you have the information done by the calibration inside the scanner and not the laptop. So once you have calibrated the device, you will be able to use it on any laptop. You don't need to calibrate for every laptop or desktop that you are using. But with that said, calibration is very, very important to get consistent results and get a very precise scan. What I commonly do is calibrate my device every 2 weeks. As you can see in the protocol, by placing the calibrating tool instead of the scanning tip on the scanner, the calibration wizard starts automatically. You're going to go through all the steps from and the calibration wizard is very simple. You're going to go through all the steps and to all positions from one to the last, and afterwards the scanner and the software together will calculate the values and give the calibration file that is going to be auto stored on the scanner, so no need to worry, you don't need to do anything, just go do the steps of the wizard. But with that said, I calibrate my scanner every 2 weeks, and also anytime I do something of a bigger case, of a case that needs to have very good precision, so full arch cases, I always calibrate before. Anything that is more than 2 implants, from 3 implants and up, I always calibrate before doing the impressions. And also you are going to get a pop-up message sometimes telling you that the scanner is not warm enough. This is very important, but because physical objects have dimensions varying by their temperatures, let the scanner heat accordingly before using it for calibration, but also for general use. Never start scanning if the scanner is not warm enough. Let it do its thing, and only after everything is warm enough and it's going to tell you that this is done, only then can you start scanning. Also, as I mentioned in the previous slide, this is what you are going to see. On the left is the temperature and the heating, the needed heating for the scanner. When the gauge is to the right, everything is done, and then you are going to start from the position 1 and to the last, and then the calibration wizard is going to tell you that the calibration is a pass. Before you start your first scan, I want to mention that every scan is composed of multiple stages. And you can see at the lower part of the screen, you can select multiple stages, from pre-op maxilla to pre-op mandible, from maxilla and mandible scans, operation stage, and also for scan body stages. For face scan, that symbol for the face scan also stands for a CT load of the patient's DICOM files converted to an STL, but also in that stage, in the face scan and the DICOM stage, you can also import any kind of STL you want, or OBJ, or any kind of file that you can use during your scan. And also you have the additional scan stage that lets you scan anything you want and then correlate it to the case. But the scanner gathers data during these processes, during these stages, and if anything happens to your laptop during these scan procedures, you might lose all your data. And if the laptop reboots, or if you have a blue screen or any kind of error, you can lose data. And for this not to happen, one of my most important advice to you before you start scanning, you are going to go on the upper left part of the screen and select settings, and there you will select from program preferences automatic backup. What this does is every time you change a stage, you go from pre-op to op, or from op to pre-op back, or to occlusion, or any stage, the previous stage is automatically backed up in the hard disk. And if the program crashes or you have any error, when you are going to reopen the case, the data from the previous stage is going to be there, and you're not going to lose everything. So most of your data will be there. To be even more safe, what I do when I scan a stage. For example, I had the pre-op and now I'm going to scan the op, and the op I'm going to scan piece by piece. For those guys that do this, that have this protocol, my suggestion to you is, after scanning a part of the operation stage and then going forward, and then you are going to do some preparations on the teeth, and then you are going to scan again, stop before you do anything. After you scan a part, stop, go on the upper left, and on the upper left you are going to find a save button. Press the save button, and what this does is back up even the stage that you are working on directly on the hard disk. So now if anything fails and you are going to reopen the case, you are going to find your case exactly at the point that you have left it before. So no possibility to errors from now on, or for crashes. Just remember, anytime you do something and you want to make a break, to take a break, just go up there, save everything, and then continue working, and when you have any error you can resume from that point on. As I just told you, on the upper left you have that save button, so remember to find it and press it. Now, after you have finished scanning a patient, as you can see on the left picture, your unit, if it's i700 or an i700 wireless, has a sterilizing light inside of it, and you can see the symbol on your scanner light up. You can set the amount of time that you want the scanner to sterilize itself on the inner part in settings. But also, once this process starts, my recommendation to you is not turn the scanner off, just leave it to sterilize its inner part, because this is how you get proper experience for the next patient. What happens is that the scanner has a fan inside that blows air through the scanner from the posterior part to the anterior to cool it off. And because aerosols are present in your operating room, it's going to go to have these aerosols go to the scanners, and they might infect the inner part of the scanner, and these little droplets can then be expunged to the next patient. So for this not to happen, the inside of the scanner is going to be sterilized by UV means, but this is only happening if you let the scanner on after scanning, and after that UV LED is going to disconnect. Now you know that the whole UV process is finalized. Also, as you can see on the right, the process of disinfecting the scanner by itself is done by spraying sterilization agent on a dry cloth and wiping the scanner off, but never ever use sterilizing agent sprayed directly on the scanner, because it can get inside and it can damage your device. So always spray the sterilizing agent on a cloth or on a piece of paper, and just then wipe the scanner off.
Thank you for sharing all your tips with us, Dr. Bogdan.
It was my pleasure to do so, and let's see what the audience wants to find out more about what we talked about.
Yeah, we will jump into the questions. So I've got 3 questions today. So question number 1. Is the scanning speed same when you turn off GPU in the setting?
Well, the GPU setting is very important for the Medit scanners. It got introduced a little bit later in the software. First, only CPU was used. Now the GPU is a big part of the scanning process. It improves your number of frames, but also is used in various parts of the scanning experience, from filtering out soft tissues, from finding out margin lines. So everything is handled nowadays by the AI, and this AI is heavily reliant on the GPU CUDA core. So yes, it's very important to have it switched on for your good scanning experience.
Yes. Question number 2. I heard Medit scanner works with Mac. So can I use 3 scanners connecting to C2C USB cables with one MacBook?
You can use multiple scanners with your MacBook. The idea is you have one screen and multiple scanners. You just have to transport your MacBook from one operatory to the next, where everything is set up and you can start scanning again. The scanning experience, as we talked about in the first webinar, is really great on Macs. They have good runtime on their batteries with stable FPS, with a stable software experience. So yes, MacBooks are a good option for your scanning.
Okay, question number 3. What is switch and scan? Does this mean I just need to buy an extra hub to scan in multiple chairs without buying another scanner?
So it's exactly the opposite situation from the second question. This switch and scan actually implies you have multiple computers, like a desktop in one operatory, a laptop in the next, and you just take your scanner with you, and it actually makes a lot of sense because you actually need computers for every doctor that is an employee of yours, and you just take the scanner from the one room to the next and just pair it with a new hub. So you're gonna need a computer in that room and a hub, and the scanner can switch between those hubs. And like this, you have you just have to use one scanner, one wireless unit for all your computers in the clinic.
Okay, thank you for explaining about the comparison.
Excellent.
Okay, that's all about the quiz that I prepared, but just one thing came in my mind that Dr. Bogdan gave us so many tips today. So in the end of the lecture, do you have a take-home message that you want to deliver to attendees?
If I think about everything I've presented in these two webinars, my actual important message would be related to my practice throughout these years. I've been practicing with Medit for over 5 years now, and I actually had a lot of tests, a lot of betas, and a lot of issues during scanning. Throughout the years, I had blue screens, I had problems with my laptop, with Windows, sometimes with the software, and sometimes this led to me losing data. And the most important thing I found out is I have to back up my data during scans to not lose anything, just what we talked about in this webinar. So please do not forget to auto back up your information and also save your information, because in the end, you just don't want to be a problem for your patient. You just don't want to redo steps that are unneeded. With just a click of a button, everything is saved and you're good to go with no errors at all.
I think this point was the really important thing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, that's all about the quiz that are prepared. So, okay, you can watch this webinar on our YouTube channel and Medit Academy once it's completed. If you have any questions or feedback, please feel free to contact us meditedu@medit.com. Thank you for being here, doctor.
Thank you so much to have me, and hope to see you in the next series of webinars. We'll find out some great topic that is of interest to you, and can't wait to be back here.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.